So hi and welcome to another video, and today we're checking out the Steelseries Rival 3. This is the budget mouse. It comes at around $30 US, so it's cheap for the Steelseries line here. I'm going to see how good it is today. Now if you're familiar with my reviews, I go into some seriously low detail, and today we're going to change that a little bit. We're going to be doing a first impression video, which is going to give you an idea of what I think of the mouse straight out of the box, and as soon as it's released, and then in a few weeks time we'll be releasing a full review with latency tests, glide tests, all the usual tests we do once I've had some time to play with it. If you want to go back and check out all this detail anyway, it's on my Beardedbob website. I've been doing some more work on it and some of the charts are now back, so you can check out which are the fastest mice in certain latency tests. So getting into it here, well, the cable is one of the main things that I don't like about the Steelseries. It has some flexibility in it, but it totally gets in the way when you're gaming here and it'll whip around like crazy. It's one of the things I would change straight away on this Rival 3 and paracord it, because I think the cable is certainly letting it down at the minute. The coating here is the standard Steelseries coating. It's like a matte black, and it is a total fingerprint magnet, and it is a little bit slippy here even though I've got dry hands, so in wet hands it's certainly going to slip around a bit. So it's a nice shape for a palm or claw grip. I wouldn't fingertip it, it's a little bit big for that. So the measurements here come in at 120mm, 61mm and 38mm. Steelseries say it weighs 77 grams. The scales weighs 82 grams, a little bit of cable, so it's a little bit more than Steelseries have quoted. It's got full RGB at the back here, it's got the logo lit up, and it's also got a nice little line around it, which I do like, but there's no RGB at the front. I also wasn't able to turn the RGB off in the software. I don't know whether this is something I've missed or whether you can't do that. The left and right mouse button here is a little bit mushy. There's certainly some click to it. I'd like a little bit more of a snap. The Steelseries branded switches here, so I don't know whether they're Omron and Steelseries has branded them, but let me know in the comments if you know that. I certainly couldn't find much about that, and I'm going to have to take the switch apart maybe to see. And the side switches here, the buttons are a little bit thin for me. They've slightly got kind of a point. I find them a little bit hard to press, and they are a bit tiny, and they're using Khalid switches. Scroll wheel itself is nice and easy to rotate. There's no free scroll in here. There's certainly some notches, and the mouse itself is easy to click. And I'd say the scroll wheel is around a medium stiffness, but we'll find out in the other review. I'm going to use the force gauge meter to measure the pressure. There's also a DPI button, slightly set back from the scroll wheel. It's nice to see it a little bit further back. It is protruding a little bit. It's not as low profile as I'd like, but it is quite skinny, and you shouldn't have any issues with the clicking issues here. There's a little bit of pre-travel in these switches, and there's quite a bit of post-travel in these switches. The mouse itself uses the Steelseries software that I've always been a fan of, and you can change things like the angles, snap, the acceleration, deceleration, your DPI, CPI profile settings. What you can't change is the lift-off distance, but you're able to change polling. Now one of the problems with this mouse, and a few people have asked, is does the sensor have an issue with lift-off? And for me it's very high, the lift-off here. So I was finding in Call of Duty when I was testing it, that when I was lifting the mouse it was moving on the screen as I picked it up, because the lift-off distance is quite high, as I said, and the sensor is still tracking at that level, which I'm not a fan of. It didn't seem to cause him too many problems, but I would have liked to be able to adjust the lift-off distance. Again, in the other tests, when we do a proper review here, we might see some differences. Overall, the tracking of this mouse to me felt perfectly fine, apart from that lift-off distance. So overall, for $30 or 34 UK pounds, this mouse is pretty good. I'm impressed. You definitely want to paracord it straight out of the box here. It's a decent weight at 77 grams, although I'll do a weight reduction video if you want me to do that, and we can drill it and take some of the weight out of it, because I think it's got some potential, as I've had it open and had a look and seen what's in there. The only problem is the sensor, and to me, like I said, it tracks, but the LOD is a little bit of an issue. But for $30 or 34 quid, it's definitely a decent mouse to check out. So thanks for watching. I hope you like this style, and I'll see you all again very soon. Catch you later. Bye bye. Take your aim.
Enemy precision airstrike.
This is Builder 2-0, good copy. That's the strike way.
We're holding. We have the advantage. Securing Charlie. You're needed at A. Losing Alpha. We've lost Alpha. Losing Bravo. We've lost Bravo. Enemies at Charlie, go! Securing A. Those positions, we're being dominated. Enemy cluster strike incoming. Take cover. Taking Bravo. They're taking Alpha. We're holding Bravo. Assist your team at A. We've lost Alpha. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Taking Charlie, stand by. Securing A. Enemy holds 2 objectives. Take them back. Enemy care package inbound. Throwing a stun! Yeah, I'm in! Roger, sir. Taking Charlie, stand by. Enemy shield turret spotted. We've got Charlie. Securing Alpha. Losing C. Dominating the enemy. We've lost Charlie. This is our fight. Stay focused. Charlie. Cluster strike is overlooked. Losing Bravo. We control the battlefield.